Right, welcome amateur athletes. These are 5 things you gotta do before you even step out the door for that run. Okay? We want you to be consistent. We want to make sure that you are successful in your running journey. So please make sure we check these 5 things off so that you don't quit 3 weeks down the road. Okay? So I'm going to give you these 5 things, and then at the end I'm going to give you some free resources so that you can be even more successful. Okay, here we go. Number 1 is probably the most important thing, is getting the gear. Okay, the biggest thing, if you get nothing else, is you need a good running shoe. You have to get a good running shoe. Don't take a shoe that you've had for 2 weeks, or like 2 years. You need something new that is an actual running shoe that you go to the store and you get fitted for. Okay. I run in a Brooks Glycerin. That is a great shoe. I would recommend it. But again, just going to the store and actually getting a shoe that works for you. Talk to somebody at the store. They are more than happy to help you. And then if it doesn't feel right within a couple weeks of you starting out, go get a different shoe. It's not worth it. And then change out your shoe about, like, for sure every year, but the typical rule is 300 to 500 miles. You want to make sure that you get a new shoe, because if you have a bad shoe, that leads to injuries. That's like the number 1 thing for any runner, is that if you are in a bad shoe, if you're in a shoe that you've been wearing way too long, is you will get injured. So start off right. I know it can be a little spendy, but just spend the money. It's literally the only thing that you have to get as a runner. The rest is all just whatever you want to do. Okay, number 1, get the gear, shoes, and then just make sure you have some actual running clothes that you are comfortable, happy in, and that fit you. So if you don't have that, make sure you have that. Most people do have some sort of athletic gear, but if you don't, make sure you have that. We do have a free guide down in the caption below that you can for sure get. Then number 2 is a training plan. I know it can just be very tempting to just go out and run as hard as you can every single day, but that is another way that we get injured in the running world, is if we take on too much at a time. So please find a training plan that works for you. You can join our app. I know we have tons of training plans. If you need anything, reach out. But start with the run walk method. If you've never run before, if you don't have like a huge fitness background, do the run walk method, where you start off walking for 1 minute, you run for 1 minute. You just go back and forth, do that like 6-7 times, then you're done. That's it. Like, it's like 12 minutes on your first day. Then take a break tomorrow and start again. So use that run walk method and just like slowly increase it. But the best thing that you can do for yourself is find a training plan if you don't have any knowledge on running, because we want to make sure that you're successful, that you don't get hurt, that you don't get injured, and that you also, like, you feel good about when you are running, because you don't want to burn yourself out because you've just been increasing your running minutes for like 2 weeks straight, and then you're just like, oh, why is this so hard? Because you should have those easy days and those hard days. So if you don't have any background, get a training plan. Number 3 is your why. I think in the long term is you need to know why you're running, because if you don't know why you're running, or if you don't like really super enjoy it right away, which I believe running is super fun and you will get there, that just gets you out the door every day on those hard days. So whether that's like you're doing it for yourself, your health, to lose weight, to just have some motivation. Signing up for races is a great way to keep you accountable, because you're like, okay, I gotta practice my running, because you can't fake. So you have to like consistently put in that effort. So knowing that you have a race, you're gonna show up on that day, you don't want to embarrass yourself, so you're gonna get out the door and run more. So spend some time figuring out what your why is, and make sure that it's something that's personal, that you believe in, that you get out the door every day. So if it's not something super meaningful, that's fine. If it's about whatever, as long as it's important to you and it gets you out the door. All right, number 4 is you need to figure out how you are going to do it, like the logistics. So you can't just say, okay, I'm going to start running tomorrow, and then not have like a plan in place, right? You don't need to have all the details fleshed out, but you should at least have like, okay, I'm going to run before work. So now I'm going to get up like 30 minutes earlier so I can get my run in and I can shower. Or it might be right after work. I'm going to bring my workout clothes to work, so then I can just go straight to the gym, or I can run right out of work. So have a time of day where you know you're gonna run every day, and that comes with the training plan. So you know what you're doing, you know what kind of run you're doing, and then you have that added in time of like it's scheduled in. So like just how you would schedule an event with like hanging out with a friend, you got to put that on the calendar, especially when you're first starting out, and that just keeps you more accountable. And if somebody else asks you to do something, like, oh no, wait, I have to go run first, and then I can meet up with you. Number 5, last but not least, is find a group, find an accountability partner, a running group, something that is like external. Like I am super motivated by like a team, a group. It's very hard for me to be like intrinsically motivated, so I love attaching myself to other people and like going with them on their goals. So if you find that internally you might be like struggling to get motivated and to get out the door, find a local running group. I know sometimes that can be a little bit scary, a little bit daunting, but find somebody where you know that like once a week they meet up. Or even if you convince like your friend or your mom or your cousin to like, you guys are gonna start texting like a couple times a week to like check in and see how you guys are doing on your running. And I think it's just one more thing to keep you accountable so that you don't quit, 30 days down the road, because we want running to be like part of your lifestyle almost. We don't want it to just be like a quick 1 month phase, because I think if you really are going to try and be a runner, that's like one of the coolest things, is that it just becomes a part of you, and you do it like, maybe you do it 6 months out of the year, but we want to make sure that we have those 5 things in place so that we can be successful and enjoy running and be consistent and gain that fitness and lose that weight or become healthy or whatever you want to do, wherever you're running. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you check out the caption, the details below on the YouTube video, you'll find a couple free resources that I hope will help you along on your running journey and help you be successful.